tell a little bit about yourself and what you're going to talk about today.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, on the webinar tonight, we're going to talk about how to take as little as $50 and make up to $5,000 or more over and over again. We're going to show you what's needed for people to pay you up to $47 a month. If you can, imagine getting $47 a month over and over and over again from your clients. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. But in order to do that, okay, you have to keep this in the back of your mind. It's all in the mindset and taking action. Let me say that again. It's all in the mindset and taking action. That's very, very important. How are you going to get the most out of this webinar tonight? Number one, we want you to put away the distractions. If you're on the internet and you have Facebook up, get off of Facebook, get off of Twitter. If you have a spouse or loved one that's in the area and they're kind of bothering you, tell them to give you just 45 minutes because you're going to learn something good in this short amount of time. We definitely want you to take notes. As I always say, if you have to get a feather and dip it in some ink, you need to go ahead and do that because you may get one little gold nugget on tonight's webinar that will change the way you do business forever. So it's important to take notes. We also want you to ask questions. That's how you learn. I mean, that's how you can get the most out of the webinar. We want you to ask questions. That's how it's interactive, and that's how you're going to get the information you need tonight. We want you to maximize your screen because, again, with this GoToWebinar software, sometimes it can be a little fuzzy. So definitely maximize your screen, but most importantly, we want you to be open for opportunity. Okay? If you're closed-minded, you'll miss a lot. We just want you to be open for opportunity. Once again, my name is Vondre Whaley, and I've been doing this internet stuff for around 10 years. And that's a picture of me and my gorgeous wife there. I actually started out in education, biology and science education. I also ran a newspaper publishing company, a little Christian-based newspaper called Nothing But Good News for about 6 or 7 years. Basically, I've launched multiple businesses. I'm what you call a serial entrepreneur. Now, some of those businesses have been, wildly successful, but a lot of them have been huge failures. And I tell you what, the key to being a success is learning from every experience, the successes as well as the failures. That's what being an entrepreneur and developing multiple streams of income is all about. Why are you here? Let's talk about that for a moment. I can bet you've made the decision to be successful and earn multiple streams of income. Okay, that's why you're here tonight. I mean, you could be out, watching TV, you could be out in the pool, but you're here to learn some new information. You want to learn from real entrepreneurs, as Ron said, in the trenches. We're out there every single day working on both internet-based enterprises as well as businesses in the real world, and you can learn a lot from us. We could actually learn a lot from each other. You want to discover a system that works within what you already do. If you have a regular 9-to-5 job, you want something that you can do outside of that job in that time frame that has the ability to earn you a huge income source, a huge profit stream that's going to make a difference for you and your family. Now, here's what you're going to learn on tonight's webinar. Number one, you're going to learn how to invest pennies and earn as much as $5,000 plus. I use this method, Ron uses this method all the time, and it works like crazy. You're going to learn the way you need to think in order to find products and services that people pay you month after month for. Go crazy to pay you for these services. But we're going to show you the way you need to think. That's important. We're going to show you how to work less and earn insanely more than you do now. And we're going to show you how to control products and services that people will knock down your door to purchase. That's what you're going to learn tonight. It's very, very important that you pay attention because, once again, we're only on for a short period of time. Let's talk about Warren Buffett because, Warren Buffett is one of the wealthiest individuals in the entire world. He usually fluctuates between number 1 and number 4 on any given day. Well, when asked about the best investment you can make during these tough times, and we're in some tough economic times, here is what Mr. Warren Buffett said. This is how he responded. He says, number one, invest in yourself. You can't be afraid to invest in yourself. You need to spend money to get required knowledge. For whatever it is that you want to do, you should be willing to spend the money to get the required knowledge. That means take a class, buy books, software, coaching, increase your circle of influence. It kind of, I love the relationships that I've built just by doing these webinars, because people call, people email, and I'm definitely building relationships, and that allows people to increase their circle of influence by building relationships. Now let me tell you, what Warren Buffett said in his response to this question is a multi-million-dollar idea for you to invest in yourself. And some people on this webinar, they may have never really invested in themselves. Some people have, but some people haven't. If you're one of those individuals, definitely take heed to what Mr. Buffett is saying. Now, we want to invest in ourselves because we want to have a better lifestyle. That's the question that you have to ask yourself. Do I really want a better lifestyle? Now, I see life as time, and I see life as money. Now, some people have a lot of time with no money. Some people have a lot of money, but they don't have any time. And then most people, they don't have time or money. Now, in this little picture here, I have Patrick. Okay, and Patrick is well, actually, he's like a little worker for my father. He helps him out, around the house and with his business. But basically, when I go over to see my father-in-law, Patrick, a lot of time, he's just sitting around. He likes to play games. His game of choice is checkers. So Patrick will say, hey, can you sit down and play some checkers with me? You play game 1 with Patrick. You play game 2 with Patrick. And you beat him both of those games. Game 3, you say, hey, well, I'm going to let him win so I can stop with all this playing games. You let him win on game 3. Patrick puts up the checkerboard, pulls out a chess game, and says, hey, well, can you play chess with me now? See, Patrick is an example of someone with a lot of time, but he doesn't have a lot of money. Okay? Now, on the right side of this image here, we have Dr. Johnson. And Dr. Johnson is one of my wife's doctors. Dr. Johnson makes about $300,000 a year as a physician. But the problem is she makes decent money, but she has no time. She's always working from 6 in the morning to 6:30 in the evenings. On most holidays, she's working. I mean, is that lifestyle? The answer is no. Okay? Now, here's what we're really aiming for here, and I call it the sweet spot. Here's a little sweet spot right here. This is the middle, right in between time and money. Okay? That's what I call lifestyle. That's the perfect blend between time and money. And that's what we all should be trying to get. Now, if you really want lifestyle, you have to answer the second question here. What is your why? Okay? What is your driving force? Because if you want lifestyle, you have to have some type of driving force. Now, for me, it's my family. You see that little girl there, that pretty smile. You see my son there, the young CEO. My objective is to provide them new experiences, great experiences, so they can believe that one day they can change the world. And the only way to do that is to provide them the experiences. So far, we've been to Hilton Head, we've been to Savannah, we've been to SeaWorld, we've been back to Great Wolf, Charleston. We've been all these places just this summer, just so we can provide them the experiences so they can believe that they can change the world. In other words, what will keep you up at night? A lot of times, I'm calling Ron or I'm calling Ty, another one of our private buddies, and it's 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning because we are seriously working our businesses because we're passionate about it. Okay? Now, the thing you have to ask, what will keep you passionate when things get hard? Because I don't like to tell people, this stuff is easy, it's push button. No, you have to work hard to establish the lifestyle that you want. And if you're on this webinar tonight, and if you are familiar with myself, if you're familiar with Ron, you know that, we pretty much tell you exactly the way it is. We're not going to sugarcoat anything, and we're not hyping anything up. I mean, you need to find your why, okay? Now, let me tell you, You can get the lifestyle you want by developing systems that put you in what we call the toll booth position. Well, what's the toll booth position? The toll booth, as it is often called, is the position that controls access to a desired product, service, or a system. That's the toll booth. In other words, you have to pay the toll booth to get what you want. If you want access to this service, you want access to this product, you have to pay the toll booth. The toll booth is the person that gets the money. Now, you can set up your toll booth for you to get paid every time money is made as a result of the system that you have in place. Now, let's take a look at some examples here. And if you look at these two pictures here, you're probably familiar with some, if not both of them. On the left here, we have McDonald's. Now, everyone is familiar with those golden arches. You know, that's a system that's in place. I mean, your kids, if you have them, probably ask you all the time, you know, can I get a Happy Meal? Let's go to McDonald's. Well, all the time, right? Man, after this webinar, I'm probably heading to McDonald's. But here's the thing, you know, McDonald's has a system in place. And if you want to feed into that system and start your own McDonald's franchise, you have to pay them a franchise fee, you have to pay them royalties, and you have to pay them monthly rent. You're paying them all this money so you can have access to their system. Guess what? McDonald's is the toll booth. Look to the right here. This is audio generated. This is from a product that was developed by internet marketer Armin Morin, Alex Mendozium, and that's Rich Radix. If I pronounced their name wrong, you know, forgive me. But these guys created what was known as audio generator. And this is a product where you're able to pay them a fee, and basically you would get a code that's generated that you can put on your website that will play audio. And people would pay this fee so they can get these codes to put on their websites, and as they put them on their websites, they became dependent on these you know, this particular service, and they pay month after month after month after month. Who's in the toll booth position? Armin Morin, Alex, and Rick with audio generator. They get paid for being the toll booth. Now, that's the mentality that you're going to have to start thinking in terms of in order to be successful. You are going to have to be the toll booth. And there's nothing wrong with being a consumer and buying products and services that's going to help you be successful, but at some point, you're going to have to think with the toll booth mentality. Now, one of the best things you can do if you want to be the toll booth, okay, you're going to need to control the software and the marketing strategy. Let me say it again. If you control the software and the marketing strategy, you are the toll booth. Okay? Now let's talk about the benefits to being the toll booth. Number one, you own the system. Number two, you control the money. The money comes to you. Number three, you have the advantage of testing. You can test prices. You can test marketing strategies. If you're charging $100 a month, you see that's not working, you can drop it down to $47 a month. If you want to charge $9.97 to have access to your toll booth system, you can charge that because you have the advantage of testing and controlling the money and the system. You have more time because if you set up a system, it's going to basically power itself if you set it up right. So that's going to give you the time to do more things with family and friends, and most importantly, give you more time to help other people, because that's what it's really about, you know, helping other people so your life can be more meaningful. Okay? You can take advantage of leverage because when you have a system in place and you're the toll booth, other people will work your system. In the case of McDonald's, they have a franchise. The person that owns the franchise, they work the system, and McDonald's benefits from it. So you can take advantage of that leverage. That's why it's important that you start thinking with the toll booth mentality. Now, all you need to do, if you want to be the toll booth and be successful, is give people a reason to access your toll booth. You want to give people a reason. Now, let's talk about a few things here, or a few reasons that people will want to access your toll booth. Look at this one. You give people an opportunity to make money, or you give them tools that's going to make them more successful and more profitable. That's going to make people want to access your toll booth. Number two is that you solve a huge problem for people. If you can solve problems for them, then you could be the toll booth. In the case of Audio Generator, they solved the technical issues with putting audio on a website. They created the system where all you had to do was copy and paste the code. So that solved a huge problem. McDonald's give people an opportunity to make money. All these are reasons that people will want to access your toll booth. Now, in my opinion, software is the best way to put yourself in the toll booth. Now, let's talk about why software. Number one, software is very inexpensive to get developed. It doesn't cost as much. I mean, you can invest as little as $50. I've had software developed for $50, and I get paid over and over and over and over again on it right now today. So that's one of the reasons why software is the best way to put yourself in the toll booth position. It's challenging for the average person outside of entrepreneurs like us on this webinar tonight to set up software, because people perceive software as being very, very complicated. But if you're on this webinar, you're going to learn that it's not that difficult to get software developed. Software is very low maintenance. If you have a software script that's developed and is developed well, you don't have to worry about going in and making changes too much. It'll basically run itself. These are reasons why software is the best way to put yourself in the toll booth position. Now, some of you are probably on this webinar asking, well, how do you get software developed? Well, number one, you don't have to be a computer expert. You don't have to be a software programmer. You don't even have to know too much about software. All you need to know is what you want and how and where to get it. Now, here are a few resources or places you can go to get software created. Number one is scriptlance.com. I use Scriptlance on a regular basis to get work done. Number two is VWorker. This is formerly known as Rent-A-Coder, another site where you can basically find software programmers or freelancers who are willing to develop whatever your idea or concept is. Elance.com. That's probably one of the most popular. Again, same thing. You can find programmers who will develop exactly what you want. Another site, guru.com, where you can find these guys they're the experts. All you have to do, again, is to know what you want and how to get it. You can use these sites to get software developed. Now, of course, you have to know a little more than just go to the sites. You have to know what to tell them, how to tell them, and you have to be experienced enough so you can find the right individuals. And we'll talk about how you can get that information later. But these are just 4 places where you can go and get software developed, created, so you can be the toll booth. Now, let's take a look at this software that we're featuring tonight that will allow you to get up to $47 per month. But first, I want to say this, because this software solves a huge problem. There are a lot of people, especially right now, they're interested in getting on the internet and starting a home-based business. But the number one problem they have is actually getting set up with a website that works. Not just a website with information and pictures on it and stuff like that. A website that has a system in place that works. Okay, that's huge. So if you can solve that problem, then you can get paid. Number two, most small business owners have problems with setting up an internet system that works. If you can fill that void and solve that problem for these small business owners, you can get paid month after month. Now, let me show you this software that we're featuring tonight. Let me get in here. Okay, if you take a look at this software, it's at freecakebook.com. This is software, again, I actually use this software. I actually have people that are paying monthly for access to the software. But let's take a look at it. As you can see, it's very clean. This is a squeeze page. It says, who else wants to get our free cake book featuring cakes decorated by professionals and home cake bakers? So someone who's interested in cake baking, they would go to this site, and they will put in their name, and then they'll put in their email address. and they click sign up because they want to get the free cake book. And when they do that, something interesting happens here. Okay, now if you take a look here, you'll see that they get to what is known as a one-time offer. Okay, and with this one-time offer, basically we're giving them some information, some recipes of some secret cakes recipes they can get for $15 for the first 20 people. So they can click the add to cart and buy the product. If not, they can just click this link to get their free guide, which is the free cake book. Okay, now the interesting thing that happens with the software, now I'm going to click off of this and I'm going to go to a demo we have set up here, and this is a demo, and we're going to show you how easy it is to work this. So when a person's put their name and email address into the system, it goes to the back office here. And in the back office, which you would create, or which you would control, or your clients, they have a newsletter system to where they can send emails to the subscribers. So they would simply go here, they would click newsletter mailing list, they'll put their subject, they'll put their message, click send, and it'll go to all the subscribers on the list. Okay, here's where you would manage your subscribers. It has a search function where you can search the name and email address of your subscribers, and if you want to, you can add the name and email address of subscribers. Go to the autoresponder here, and this is what's key, because what you would do is have your clients set up an autoresponder, and with this autoresponder, it sends out the days that you assign. For example, this first one here has 0 days. It'll send out immediately, meaning that as soon as a person signs up to this particular website, they'll get this message. And of course, you can edit it. You click on the edit button, and you can edit it here. Okay? On the second day that they're a member of this particular newsletter list, it'll send out this email. So you can add as many emails as you want, or your clients can add as many emails as they want. It'll be sent out on the days that you specify. That's very, very important because you're solving several problems for them. It's a system. They need a website, specifically a squeeze page, where their clients can put in their name and email address, and they have an autoresponder built in where it sends out messages on the days that you set up in the system. That's huge. Now, it also has a moderator section, which this is where you would set up your clients. You set them up as a moderator so they can have access to the back office. Click into settings. Now, this is very important here. All right, let's go through the settings. The settings, you can choose your admin username and password, the from email address, the PayPal email address, because you have that one-time offer, and you can set up the price you want for that one-time offer. Here's where you would upload your one-time offer. You would just upload it, and it'll automatically deliver it. You don't have to worry about anything. The money will go straight to your PayPal address. It's automatically delivered. You don't have to worry about anything. Now, the free product that you give away with your website, you just simply load it here. Same thing, automatically delivered. Now, here's the great thing about this particular software. Everything is point and click. Okay, you can change the homepage top. You can change the content. Let's say, for example, if you're going to change the content here, it says your website content is really hot. Okay, we can go ahead and we can click save, and it'll change. Here's where you add your YouTube video that is shown the index page, home page, meta title, meta description, meta keywords, and your one-time offer is referred to as the success page. This is where you change information on your success page here. Success page top title. Let's say, for example, if you wanted to change that up just to show you how it's changed. And here's the success page content. Just to show you that you can edit it. And you click save. Okay. Now, once you click save, you can literally, if you wanted to, you can preview your success page here. You can see here where I put the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. here where I put the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. That's where you can change up your content. Let's go to the index. Everything is point and click for your clients. Okay, now here's where we changed up. We said your website content is real hot. Forgot the Y. This is live. But if you want to change that again, I mean, you just go back to, again, to your admin area. What you doing, Vondre? Go ahead and add in your Y, buddy. Click Save. You go back to this index. You see now where the Y's in there really hot. Okay, now just imagine, you know, for a moment, the number of people that are just getting into internet marketing. They want, number one, have to have a web page design. That costs money. They need to understand the concept of building a list and having a squeeze page. Well, that's what this is. With the one-time offer, they can literally get paid for building their lists. They need an autoresponder, which costs money monthly. This is built into the system. So if you take a look at all those things, you're looking at probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $200 to $300 that they would have to invest if you include web design and things of that nature. Then a monthly fee for the autoresponder and the hosting. What you can do basically is give them a fee up to $47 per month, and you can provide that for them by setting up this software script and having them utilize it. You're in the toll booth position. You're in the toll booth position, and they pay to utilize this particular script. What do you think about that, Ron? How does this look to you?
It looks like you'll save them a lot of time and money, and that's what people are willing to pay for, definitely. I mean, people are short on time and aren't willing to spend a lot of money, and you know, this fits right into what they're looking to do. I think it's super convenient. It's really, really cool script.
Right, exactly. So once again, you know, you have access to this software. Okay, you set up this software for them on your server, and they pay you monthly to access the software. That puts you in the toll booth position. Okay, and people will definitely pay upwards of $47 per month to have access to this very same software. This is amazing, and hopefully those that are on the webinar tonight can see the benefits of owning this type of software. So let's go back to this thing. Let's talk about, you know, what you can do with our proprietary software. Once again, you can set it up on your hosting service for people interested in internet marketing, and you can charge them a monthly fee for access. You're in the toll booth position. You can set it up for small businesses who are looking for a successful internet marketing plan. Okay, small businesses, they're looking to get into the internet and develop a system that works. What works is building a list of subscribers and sending out offers to them on a regular basis. You can set them up using this particular software. Makes it easy for you. And of course, you can use it to set up, you know, multiple sites for yourself, building little niche lists and selling and promoting products and services. That's what you can do with this software and get paid up to $47 per month. Now, let me tell you what a wise man once told me, okay? And I call him Daddy because he's my father. But here's what he told me, and this is true, I'll never forget this. You know, my dad's probably, you know, he is the best salesman I've ever worked with. He was in the insurance business for many, many years. But he always told me, he said, you know, Vondre, people fail because they are successful at staying in one spot. They don't want to move. They love that spot. It gets so bad, the spot begins to define their lives. He says, son, you can beat that spot if you're willing to get up and do something about your situation, because nobody's going to do it for yourself. He always said, you know, every frog got to lay on their own lily pad. What you want is already yours. All you have to do is take it. No one's going to give it to you. Okay? Now, here's your opportunity to take it tonight. You know, once again, it's a short webinar. We're going to give you some information. We want to be able to answer questions, but we want to give you an opportunity to take it right now tonight. You'll get access to 2 previously recorded toll booth mentality coaching calls. Now, these calls are about an hour and a half. This is probably the best coaching I've ever done, with coaching clubs. You can get access to it. This is going to change the way you think about doing business and creating profit centers. Now, doing these calls, the system and thought process, the toll booth mentality is explained step by step. Now, it's a $1,400 value. Believe me, in these 2 recorded calls, it'll change the way how you think about creating profit centers and doing business online and offline. You're going to get a 12-page guide. And with this 12-page guide, you'll use it to listen in on call 1. These are some worksheets that you go through while you're listening on the call. I mean, you may want to listen to that call, more than once. Okay. Now, with this 12-page guide, you're going to learn 40% faster, than the average person. This is the $50 value. You're also going to get access to the proprietary software that we just showed you tonight. Okay. It's going to allow you to charge your clients up to $47 a month over and over again. This is what you call residual income. Okay. Now, this software is an $1,800 value. Now, if you were to get this software created yourself, number one, you'll go through several different channels, and there's no telling how much you'll spend to get it developed if you don't have the information that's discussed in the toll booth mentality, which shows you how to set up and talk to software providers on the 4 sites that we told you about. Is a specific way that you have to give them information for them to be clear, how to pick the right person to develop your software. We go over all that in the toll booth mentality. That's an $1,800 value. Well, you're also going to get an installation guide. And the installation guide is going to show you how to easily set up the proprietary software. $50 value. Here's the cost. No height. The cost of this is $97. $97 one time. You can get access to the software where you can set up other people in the software. They can pay you up to $47 per month. You're going to get those 2 recorded coaching calls, which is priceless, really. And it's going to change your life and change the way you think about earning income. All for $97. Here's where you need to go. You need to go to tinyurl.com/47webinar. Once again, you need to go to tinyurl.com/47webinar. What I'm going to do, I'm going to post this in the chat while we field the questions, because we want to answer questions. That's how you're going to learn. So, Ron, if you help me out with these questions here.
All right. And first, I want to say that is a great deal. I mean, that's easily, what is that, $3,300 worth of value that you're giving. And that toll booth mentality is serious, man. I mean, after I listened to it, a few years ago when you first mentioned it to me and explained the concept, a lot of ideas started coming up. The idea I had for Video Forward kind of stemmed from that toll booth mentality. Just being in that position and fully understanding the concept just will enlighten you and just bring so many different ideas of how you can use that concept to literally, I mean, when I say this, literally create passive income, literally make more money while working less hours. I mean, it's the real. I mean, people don't believe it when I say it, don't believe it's possible, but after you listen to this concept and listen to how he explains it and shows examples of it, you'll start to understand how it's really possible, and you'll see real examples of people doing it. Like right now, from that idea, I created Video Forward. I just got 3 sales, during this webinar. I just checked my stats, and that's completely passive income because I was able to decouple my income from the amount of time that I put in. Once you're able to do that using a toll booth mindset, it'll change your life, literally. So let's get to some of the questions. Benny says, is there a monthly charge? No, there's no monthly charge. That's $97 one time. Right, Bon?
Right. You pay $97 one time, and you get access to the proprietary software. I mean, you get the raw files. I mean, you can literally, if you wanted to upgrade the software, you can have a programmer upgrade if you wanted to add some features to it. But you got to remember, this is what puts you in the toll booth. So you don't want to give the software to your client. You want to literally set it up on your server so you can charge them a monthly fee. That's important for you to understand. This software puts you in the toll booth. If you give it to your clients, then you're no longer the toll booth.
Right, exactly. Rolf says, do you need a dedicated server to host this on your own server?
Good question, Rolf. If you get an account from HostGator, that you can start with a shared account. Okay, and I think you can get that for as little as $20 a month. You know, if you're on this webinar, 9 times out of 10, you may already have a shared account where you can set up more than one website. You can get started that way, and when that account gets full, then you can add on another account or get yourself a dedicated server because you have enough money coming in to pay for that. Good question, Rolf.
P guy, I think I'm pronouncing that correct. Sorry if I'm not. He says, does it come with a members area?
The software, or when you're with your $97, there's a member area where you can literally download all the information. And of course, you know, we support the product. We answer questions. People go through the tool mentality, you know, via email.
Right. Patricia says, does she need a domain name or her own server, or just a server rather?
Yeah, well, you would need a domain name for your website, you know, and your company, and you wouldn't necessarily have to have your own dedicated server. Again, you could have a shared account, which most of you have, you know, if you already have a website set up. And if not, I mean, it's very simple to get those things done.
Right. Let's see. Ram says, cool stuff, guys. How do we get clients?
Well, I mean, if you hang around in internet marketing forums, Facebook, you know, you can promote easily for those who are just getting into internet marketing to check out your easy and simple solution. As people contact you, you can set them up. As far as small businesses go, the people who are already advertising that are in the yellow pages who don't currently have a system, you know, those are the people you can easily, you know, contact. It's pretty easy to get clients for, you know, for internet type services.
Dow says, what is your best product that you sell through the toll booth method?
Oh man, wow! I have a ton of different, you know, things I sell using the toll booth mindset. And when you become a member of the toll booth mindset, doing those calls, what I actually do is open up and show you some systems that I have in place that no one even knows about, because these systems are done, you know, through the internet, but primarily promoted offline. So I show you a lot of cool stuff in those coaching calls.
Robin says, does the customer then register their own domain and link it to their hosting service? Link it to her hosting service?
Well, you can provide that service for them. You can literally purchase the domain name for them, or you can have them purchase it and point it to your domain service. It's really your choice because it's your business. But if you wanted to make it easier for the client, you can just have them pay you a setup fee and include the cost of the domain name, you know, in that setup fee. You do everything for them because, you know, people pretty much like to have things done for them.
Right. Pigo says, does he need, so he doesn't need Aweber or iContact, any third-party autoresponder, because your system already has it, right?
Yeah, good question. You're absolutely correct. With this, there's no need for your clients to have Aweber because this system is built in, has an autoresponder. That's how you save them money. You could tell them, hey, if you were to do this by yourself, you'd have to pay for an autoresponder, and an autoresponder, you know, could run you anywhere from $20 to $40 a month. You would need your hosting service. A hosting service will cost you $20 a month. You need to get the website designed. All these things you include, and then you tell them how you save the money, and they sign up.
Tim says, how does this differ from Aweber?
Well, I just told you, with Aweber, you would have to go in the system and set up all these different folders for every little account that you have. But with this one, it's built in, and you don't have to worry about that. Plus, at Aweber, they charge you for every, you know, every email address. So, you know, with this, you don't have to worry about that at all, which is better for you because you're in the toll booth position. Aweber's in the toll booth position if you're paying them for autoresponder services.
Right. Roger says, how big of a mailing list can you have on this service? Is 10K okay?
Yeah, I mean, I use the exact same software and, you know, have over 20,000 email subscribers, and it runs with no problem.
Tim says, is this HTML or WordPress? It's neither.
It's neither. It's PHP code.
All right.
PHP code. No need for WordPress or HTML.
Robin says, how much can a customer customize their website? How many pages, etc.?
Well, it's basically a squeeze page and a newsletter. Okay, they can change every variable on the site where you see words and letters. They can change the color of the letters and everything else. The actual frame of the site stays the same, unless you want to hire a programmer to get it changed.
Stan says he's in. Great, Stan. Welcome. Dow says, how many domains can we host?
You can host as many domains as you want. It's your business. You know, you're getting this proprietary software along with the coaching calls. So the coaching calls are, you know, very, very good. You know, it's going to change the way you think, and you'll come with all kind of ideas once you start thinking with the toll booth mentality. But $97 is your investment for you to get this educational resource as well as the software.
Exactly. If you have Aweber or one of those accounts, you know, you're probably paying $20 a month. So, you know, in a year, you're going to pay much more than this. Plus, you can't create the web pages with Aweber or an autoresponder account.
Right. I mean, at some point, you know, at some point, you're going to have to be the creator. At some point, you're going to have to be the toll booth if you want to get to the point where, you know, you having profit centers that are created that's going to pay you so you can have, you know, so you can have that life you want, you know, with your family. That's the bottom line. I mean, and you want to align yourself with individuals, products, and services that's going to eventually teach you how to be the toll booth. Okay? And a lot of products and services out there don't teach you that. So this resource is going to teach you how to be the toll booth. I guarantee you, once you start listening to those coaching calls, you won't be able to listen to it just one time. You know, it's kind of like a bag of potato chips. You can't just get one chip. You're going to listen to this thing over and over and over again because it's going to transform the way you think. And you're going to be the one creating products and services that are going to pay you for a lifetime.
Right. And the questions are coming in so fast, we can't get to them all. But Damo says, does the system allow you to make your own websites?
Yeah, well, every time you load up the software, you can create a different site. You create a different squeeze page.
Dan says he doesn't know anything about service. How easy is it for him to do?
I mean, it's pretty simple. You go through the installation guide, and once you set up the first one, it'll be easy to set up the second one. I mean, it's not difficult at all. I mean, if you can read, point, and click, you can set up. I mean, you can set up this software so you can load to your server.
Someone said before, can you use other payment systems besides PayPal?
In reference to the one-time offer, the one-time offer currently is set up, you know, just for PayPal. If you are purchasing the $97, you choose the PayPal option, but after you go through that option, you can select to pay with your own credit card.
Roger says, can you link this into a WordPress blog?
Well, I mean, there's no need to link it into a WordPress blog. You know, people get so hooked on WordPress, but really WordPress is not the easiest solution out there. You know, WordPress is a toll booth for their particular solution. With this, you're going to use this solution to put you in the toll booth position, not WordPress.
Okay. Let's see. Marne says, when would you use a professionally designed web page rather than just using a squeeze page?
In reference to what? I mean, if a person is trying to get on, number one, if a person is trying to get on the internet, a professionally designed web page is going to cost them, you know, a lot of money, you know.
Thousands.
Yeah, you know. So you offering them a solution where they can get started $47 a month, up to $40. If you wanted to, you could charge, you know, $20 a month if you wanted to. It's your choice. So, I mean, if a person just getting started on the internet, and if you were just starting on the internet, would you pay somebody $1,000 to design a website? Or if you talk to someone who showed you this solution, you will sign up. Would you sign up with this guy? The answer would be yes. You're going to sign up, you know, with the person who gives you a solution that's going to get you started. Because the bottom line, when people get started on the internet, what they need to do is two things. All right, they need to have a website that collects email addresses, and they need to build a list. And the third thing, they need to start establishing a relationship with their list so they can soon, begin to promote products and services. That's the foundation of internet marketing. All the other stuff, is just secondary to the basic foundation. With this particular software, you give them the basic foundation of what they need to do to be successful on the internet.
Right. All right, someone else said they're in. Pico is in. We're starting to get a bunch of people signing up, so that's good.
Right.
Ian is in.
Yeah, we don't have much time. It's 7:46, and we're going to be done at about 7:50, so we got about 4 more minutes. We need you to go to tinyurl.com/47webinar. Once again, that's tinyurl.com/47 webinar. For $97, you get access to the 2 coaching calls. They're going to teach you how to think with a toll booth mentality. You're going to get the proprietary software that we went over tonight that will allow you to set up a company where you can charge people up to $47 per month to give them access to the software, puts you in the toll booth position. Again, that's tinyurl.com/47webinar.
Tim's asked about 10 questions so far.
Hey,
you better
Tim,
be a buyer, Tim.
Hey, Tim, what's going on?
Tim says, do you guys own the toll booth mindset? Bondre is the one that created it, so he's the founder, owner.
Yeah, I own the domain name, the toll booth mindset. I tell you, Tim, listen to those calls. It's going to change the way you think about entrepreneurship. Just listen to the calls, those coaching calls.
Yeah. All right, so I guess we're going to wrap it up here. Do you want to take maybe a couple more questions and then?
Yeah, we can take maybe 1 or 2 questions. We got about 3 more minutes here.
All right, we're going to take 2 more questions, and then we're going to wrap this up. You guys should really jump on this offer because, this is the webinar-only price. So, it's going to be much more expensive if you get it outside of this webinar. So this is a special price for everybody who's kind enough to jump on the webinar with us.
Yeah, the bottom line, Ron, is, look, it's a $97 investment. Okay, I mean, this is a far cry of what people pay when they go to college, to get educated for a job. $97. Here's how I look at things. In order for me to get my money back, I would need to get, 1 client at $47 per month. In 3 months, my money's back. Okay, 2 clients, my money's back. 3 clients, I'm in the profit zone. I mean, these are the things you have to think in terms of. Only $97. Okay, so you have to at some point invest in yourself, invest in tools that's going to put you in the toll booth mentality. Think about all the things that you've considered. Are the things you're considering putting you in the toll booth position? If they're not putting you in the toll booth position, maybe you want to consider, tools, resources, and education that's going to put you in a position for you to be successful creating the systems and getting paid, as opposed to always feeding into a system.
Right. Rolf says, can the product you are selling be set up to build on a monthly basis?
Oh, yeah, that's the whole purpose. You want to get paid monthly. Yeah, you want to get paid monthly. Definitely, you want to get paid monthly.
Okay, and the last question goes to Roger. He just bought it, so he's in. That's great. He says, who does the video for you? Where do you get the video done?
Well, I mean, videos can be done with a flip cam. These are the things that you would explain to, your clients. Put it on YouTube, then you use the YouTube embed code that you simply put into the system. And it's like clockwork. It's done right there for you.
All right, so that's about it. We're going to wrap it up here. Thank all you guys for coming on. Hopefully you learned a few things, and hopefully you'll jump in. Just a small $97 investment. I actually spent that yesterday at the restaurant, a little bit more than 97. Got a bottle of wine, just me and my wife. So, if I could have substituted that and invested in myself and have this cool piece of software that I'm going to use for years, that would have been a much better investment. So just think about it that way. You'll make your money back with with using this tool.
Yeah, the bottom line is that you have to at some point invest in yourself, put yourself in a toll booth position so you can set up profit centers that's going to pay you and your family for the rest of your life. Your family will appreciate you for it. You'll be able to help a lot of people, and you'll feel good knowing that you're in the toll booth position. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you guys for getting on this webinar tonight. We appreciate you. Make sure you reach out and connect us via email, phone call, establish relationships. That's why we are here. Again, go to tinyurl.com/47webinar and get started today with the toll booth mindset. Good success, and we'll see you next time.
All right, finally, if they have questions, where